Welcome back, everybody, to another edition of WDEE-TV Headline News, coming to you from our studios here in downtown Ypsilanti. We are reporting our top 5 stories of this day, Thursday, December 11th, 2014. I'm Michael G. Nastos, hosting. Today, our top story coming from Ryan Stanton, courtesy of MLive.com. By this time next year, Ann Arbor could have one of the largest solar energy installations, if not the largest, in the entire state of Michigan. City officials announced this week the city is looking to partner with DTE Energy on a roughly 10-acre, 1-megawatt solar farm out at the Ann Arbor Municipal Airport next year, with room to expand and add more solar panels in the future. Mayor Chris Taylor said, "I'm tremendously excited by it. Ann Arbor very much wants to take action on renewable energy. We have a climate action plan that I fully and earnestly support." He continued, "This, I think, is a great step forward for us." Taylor also said it's his understanding that the airport solar farm would be the largest solar installation in Michigan when it's fully realized. More on this very bright story coming up on our local news feeds link. You can check it out for more details, WDEE-TV.com online. Coming up next, number 2 headline story, Washtenaw County Police Departments will move to adopt using body cameras.
At Morgan Taylor, buy 2 suits, get a 3rd suit free. Morgan Taylor is located at 133 West Michigan Avenue in Ypsilanti. Clothing and accessories for men, women, and children at Morgan Taylor. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Call 734-221-0296. Ask about layaways and in-store financing. At Morgan Taylor, buy 2 suits, get a 3rd suit free.
Back with more information, news at your fingertips on your schedule from WDEE-TV.com. Headline news for this day. Here's our second story, and by the way, I want to give big props to my producer Ray B. this week and today. The story coming from MLive.com and writer Darcy Moran. Outcry across the country after the deaths of several unarmed black men at the hands of police has led to a growing demand for police to wear cameras as they go about their work. Police departments, including several in Washtenaw County, are also embracing the idea of body cameras. In the last month, at least 4 police agencies in Washtenaw County have taken steps toward donning these devices. The Ann Arbor Police Department, the Ypsilanti Police Department, Eastern Michigan University's Police Department, and the Washtenaw County Sheriff's Office all recently announced plans to implement the use of body-worn cameras next year. They'll join the ranks of Lowell Police, Campus Police at West Michigan College's Calvin College and Davenport University, and others which already use those cameras. Several other cities are also testing these systems. Many departments have said consideration of body-worn cameras started prior to the national outcry, well before it, after the deaths of Michael Brown in Ferguson, Missouri, and Eric Garner in New York lit that fuse. Locally, the movement also follows the fatal shooting of a 40-year-old woman by Ann Arbor police in a home on the city's west side just recently. Last week, President Barack Obama has proposed a 3-year, $263 million package for police department reform, including increased use of body-worn cameras. More on this developing story on our website. The local news feeds link is where it is at WDEE-TV.com online. Coming up next, story number 3, the Rocket Candy Company in Ypsilanti is branching out.
This portion of the news is brought to you by the Wolverine Grill, located at 228 West Michigan Avenue, Ypsilanti, Michigan. Check us out on the internet at thewolverinegrill.com.
We continue with more news at your fingertips, hip news from Ypsilanti. This is Michael G. Nastos with WDEE-TV Headline News. Our next story coming from Ben Freed. He writes for the website MLive.com. Downtown Ypsilanti candy and gift shop The Rocket will open its first expansion store on Friday in Ferndale. According to a Facebook post, the new location at 23147 Woodward Avenue will be open from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Friday before starting regular business hours the next day, Saturday. The original store at 122 West Michigan Avenue in Ypsilanti opened in 2006. They offer a mix of humorous shirts, games, gadgets, toys, and of course, candy. The new location will carry a similar stock. Owner Eli Morrissey told the Ann Arbor News in November. He said instead of expanding and moving the store into a larger location here, Ypsilanti, he said we deliberated for a couple of years and decided to open in the Metro Detroit area. He continued, we have a lot of people that visit us from the inner ring of Detroit, so we thought it would be good fits. Morrissey said that his business is growing exponentially and that the new 2,600 square foot store near the Woodward 9-mile corridor, that intersection, will provide the necessary room for him to continue to build his store's inventory and customer base. More on this story from our local news feeds link on our website. If you want more information, you can get it at WDEE-TV.com. Coming up next, a story about the Ypsilanti Police opening enrollment for a Citizens Police Academy.
At Morgan Taylor, buy 2 suits, get a 3rd suit free. Morgan Taylor is located at 133 West Michigan Avenue in Ypsilanti. Clothing and accessories for men, women, and children at Morgan Taylor. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Call 734-221-0296. Ask about layaways and in-store financing. At Morgan Taylor, buy 2 suits, get a 3rd suit free.
Here's another really good story from WDEE-TV Headline News. Local content, of course, informing you of what's going on, especially in Ypsilanti. And this story from the Ypsilanti Courier News with no byline given. Obviously a staff-written report. The Ypsilanti Police Department is now accepting applications from interested community members for the 2015 Citizen Police Academy. Classes will meet for about 2 hours on Thursday evenings for a total of 6 weeks if you're interested. Classes will be held at the Spark East Incubator, 215 West Michigan Avenue in downtown Ypsilanti, starting from 6 p.m. going to 8 p.m. January 15th. Participants will gain knowledge and insight about law enforcement's role in their community. Those who are chosen will obtain the training and experience needed to familiarize them with the operations of the Ypsilanti Police Department. Those who complete the Citizens Academy may also be afforded the opportunity to join the Ypsilanti Police Department's Volunteer Service Corps. Selected volunteer members will work alongside the officers of the Ypsilanti Police Department, conducting limited neighborhood patrols and on special community events such as parades and festivals. The mission of the Volunteer Service Corps is to provide support to the Ypsilanti Police Department in ways that allows the Chief of Police to maximize the effectiveness of his officers and staff in the community. More on this story coming up on our local news feeds link. You can find it at WDEE-TV.com. Our final headline news story, it's a music supplement story, an all-attorney band playing rhythm and blues.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Hikes Decorated Apparel, located at 133 West Michigan Avenue, Ypsilanti, Michigan. Check us out on the internet at hike.com.
Here we go with more WDEE-TV headline news, and this one, coming to you from our studios in Ypsilanti, Michigan, is actually a supplemental music story written by Ben Baird and the Heritage News chain. Washtenaw County's all-attorney R&B band Soultivity will perform at the 5th Annual Rockin' Christmas Party to help efforts like Toys for Tots. The Party begins at 5:30 on Friday at Papi O's nightclub at 2275 Ellsworth Road in Ypsilanti Township. According to announcements, and I saw them on Facebook, but it's also from the Washtenaw County website. The party raises thousands of dollars, they hope, in funds and donations for Toys for Tots, Community Action Network, the Humane Society, and food gatherers. Admission to the party is free with a donation of a new unwrapped toy, a non-perishable food item, an item for animals, or a monetary donation according to the announcement. Pizza and salad will be provided. The county's announcement for Rockin' Christmas emphasized it's truly a team effort. Assistant Prosecutor Diana Collins and her crew from the prosecutor's office work to coordinate the donations, organize the food, and do the decorations. And this good story, feel-good story, more information on our local news feeds link on our website at WDEE-TV.com. Coming up next, a story on welfare drug testing bills winning approval in the Senate. Here we are again with more from WDEE-TV headline news coming to you from our studios in Ypsilanti. You can see us, by the way, on YouTube or on our website. This news item coming from mlive.com, written by Jonathan Oosting. There's a plan to allow suspicion-based drug testing for some welfare recipients and potentially cut off benefits. It's heading to the desk of Michigan Governor Rick Snyder. Legislation directs the Michigan Department of Human Services to launch a one-year drug testing pilot program in at least 3 counties by October of next year. The supporters of this say drug testing would ensure that individuals receiving cash assistance are not misusing taxpayer funds, but critics argue the program would further stigmatize individuals who are already struggling. Under this proposal, DHS would use a substance abuse screening tool for the applicants and recipients of the Family Independence Program. If the screening suggests reasonable suspicion, DHS would require the individual to take a drug test. Now, the contention is there are children starving in the state because moms, dads are both on methamphetamines or cocaine or some other horrible substance. They sell their bridge cards instead of feeding their children. An individual who tests positive for illegal drugs under the program would be referred to a regional substance abuse agency for intervention. Refusing to participate or failing a second drug test during treatment would disqualify that individual from the cash assistance program for at least 6 months. Now, medical marijuana cardholders would be exempt. While caseloads would likely decline as welfare recipients lose cash benefits, substance abuse treatment for the first offense could offset any savings. More on this story on our local news feeds link on our website. It's pretty informative, WDEE-TV.com. Coming up next, our regular WDEE-TV Thursday headline music and entertainment news report and a little bit of sports. We continue our features on the best jazz CDs released in 2014, today with an emphasis on historical recordings, either reissues or never-before-issued treasures. These performers are all legends and pioneers, paving the way for some real authentic jazz that everybody should take notice of. These recordings have their own separate listing, as you can see exclusively on our website at WDEE-TV.com. The late Jimmy Giuffre's clarinet and saxophone playing spanned 7 decades, from traditional swing to more challenging modern jazz. The New York Concerts features never-before-issued performances with Giuffre's trios and quartets. They're recorded in New York City. Here's some of the clarinet mastery of the one-of-a-kind Jimmy Giuffre. Bud Powell is the most technically talented bop pianist of all time, but substance abuse kept his career short. Though his work from the 1950s is clearly his best, the ESP disc Live at the Blue Note Cafe, Paris 1961, was issued this year and shows Powell still had it going on right before his death. Here's his flying take on the famous 52nd Street theme. Lenny Breau was an American-born guitarist who lived mostly in Canada, where he gained more acclaim. He's a member of the Canadian Music Hall of Fame. Breau, also a victim of his own drug abuse, could burn or play tender, but his melodic content was second to none. 2014 saw the first-time release of La Bootleg 1984, done in Los Angeles right before his untimely passing. It sounds far better than any one-mic bootleg or soundboard recording. Here's a blues from the still unsung hero of jazz guitar, Lenny Breau. Lenny Tristano became an innovator on modern jazz piano, comparable to Thelonious Monk or Herbie Nichols, but his recorded output is tiny compared to others. That's why the CD Chicago 1951 is a welcome addition to our or anyone's collection. This live session has many introductions by the tiny-voiced Tristano, you'll have to hear him, but his music, which we will hear, is on the level of giants. Here he is with his group on a reworked version of the standard All the Things You Are. The Creative Music Studio in Woodstock, New York, was very active in the late 70s to early 1980s and still exists in various physical and cyberspace forms, presenting concerts and workshops. The associated musicians offered up a wide range of world jazz, progressive styles, and concepts. Ann Arbor author Bob Sweet wrote a book about the history of the studio. We were both fortunate to be there to witness it firsthand. Sweet has worked on preserving their audio collection over many decades, resulting in this year's release of a 3-CD set, Archive Selections Volume 1, for the Innova label. It's in conjunction with Columbia University, who's working with the project. There is a recording of several small ensembles, an orchestral disc, and world music, with more volumes to come in the near future. For now, we hear a small taste from Jali Fode Musa Suso, the master of the 21-stringed kora, with the Mandingo Griot Society. Once again, you can see my entire list of best jazz of 2014 right here on our website, exclusively seen at WDEE-TV.com, and look for more headline news features in the weeks ahead. By the way, I also want to make a correction. Yesterday I mentioned the young guitarist from Europe, Samo Salomon. I said he was from Slovakia. He, in fact, is from Slovenia. There's a difference. In WDEE-TV headline sports, the other day we mentioned that no Golden Era players, including former Detroit Tigers, were inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown, New York this week. But yesterday, 2 non-players from the area were tapped to enter the hall. Michigan native Dick Enberg, the savvy veteran football, basketball, and especially tennis lead announcer, current play-by-play man for the San Diego Padres, formerly for the California Angels, and Central Michigan University graduate, will go into the Baseball Hall of Fame along with his signature, "Oh My," via the broadcaster's wing of the hall. In his San Diego press conference yesterday, Enberg, who will be 80 in January, spoke about listening to Detroit sportscasters Van Patrick and Ernie Harwell, while as an 18-year-old dreaming to be the right fielder for the Tigers, but he quipped Al Kaline took that job. Enberg's delightfully distinctive voice and style has informed and entertained listeners quite well in all the sports he has covered, but especially his beloved baseball. Native Detroiter Tom Gage, longtime Detroit news wordsmith covering the Tigers for 36 years, will also be inducted in the writers' wing of the Hall of Fame. Gage will become the first Detroit news sports journalist to enter the hall since late Joe Falls, got in 2001. Gage came back to his hometown newspaper after working at the New Orleans Times-Picayune and was also a reporter for the historic Detroit area Bowling Beat. Gage, 66, currently lives in Grosse Pointe. These gentlemen have served the media and this reporter quite well in the sport of baseball proudly, and we congratulate them. They're big influences on me. All of Michigan will celebrate them July 25th in Cooperstown next year when they are enshrined into the hallowed hall. And that is WDEE-TV.com headline news for Thursday, December 11th, 2014. I'm Michael G. Nastos reporting. We'll see you tomorrow with more news, music, and sports. So long, everybody.